We had crazy day today. We had two events today that really kind of impacted a lot of things. And if you guys are looking at the market, a lot of people were pulling out their hair. But we're going to talk about why it was actually a good thing. And if you watched our videos before, you understand that these are the days that I actually kind of look forward to, even though they're kind of backwards. So there were two events today. Basically, what happened is we have kind of a statistical anomaly hit right here, and then we had Fed chairman's speech happen right here. So what happened initially right here was that the 10-year rate for the Treasury topped the S&P 500's dividend yield. And so what that means is the average dividend yield for dividend stocks in the S&P 500 is a certain amount, and the Treasury was, I mean, it's always under because they're bonds, right? You're buying debt instruments. And so what happened is the treasury yield has been increasing because there's fears of inflation. I mean, we've been spending money like it's going to be literally irrelevant and obsolete. And now we have a 1.9 trillion dollar bill coming up, and there's concern about inflation. So when that happens, the bond rates go up, and it basically got to a point where they crossed over the S&P 500 dividend yield. What that means is, let's say that you're 64 years old and you have all your money in dividend stocks. My dad does this basically. You're going to get, let's say you get 1.5% of your net portfolio as a dividend. Well, all of a sudden the 10-year treasury note eclipsed it. So you get more money in a safer instrument. And so in a sense, it was like people were worried, like, are people going to move their money, especially the older people, out of stocks and into treasury yields, right? And so that spooked everything. So as it happened, Jerome Powell gave a speech today, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. Where is that? And so he basically was very ham-handed in what he said, and basically nobody believed him. They thought, "Man, this guy's asleep at the switch, or he doesn't know what he's doing, or he's powerless." And they're like, "Crap, who's driving the freaking car?" And that is where you saw this sell-off. And so, for me, one of the things that I've been doing is I've actually been selling stocks lately. Not that I anticipated today, because I did not, but rather, I wanna be able to take advantage of opportunities when they come. So, I wanna have some dry powder in the keg. So, with that being said, we'll take a look at what we had here. So, I sold a couple things. Number 1, I sold Ellis Gaming, which briefly popped up to 725, and now it's at 542, so that was a really good decision. Um, and then this morning, Ikagi, which is a European airline, which we talked about in our last video, I sold at 619, and it's now at 599. So again, a really good one. And all these ones right here, I have sell orders on. So I added Next ID. Not that it's a bad stock. It's just I'm trying to get out and really do the recovery stocks as a whole. So once it gets to $2, which it's going to take a lot to get to $2, but this one moves a lot, then that'll sell. Future FinTech, when it goes to 7, again, that's got a lot to move to get there, but these both jump pretty quickly when they move. And Ebix um, needs $2, but it's not a whole lot. Those will sell as well. So I freed up about little over $11,000 today. So we will uncolor this one. And then when the market went down today, let's take a look here. Oh, here we go. Not sure what that was about. When the market went down today, I immediately started looking at my chart. I plugged in the numbers, looked at the drops. So we had some that dropped 20. I mean, I had some that gained. Mainly what gained today was oil. So FANG went up, PBF, Crestwood Equity, PVAC, and UCO were my top ones. So oil went up today, which if you've been listening to me for a while, you know that's going to be the case. But we have a lot of big drops today. So I took a look at Blink charging because it went down 20%. And I looked at over 2 days and it went over, well, it's about 20% for that. And so I looked at Blink charging and I realized, well, first of all, it's a good stock. Secondly, I don't really have a whole lot in it, but it's 27% over what I bought it for. Plus, it's in a sector that I'm trying to clear out. So I said no to that one. AHT, we're still a little bit above it, so I said no to that one. Although I do have it on my pending list right here, so it might be one that I look at and rethink that. Next ID, again, one that it's on the sector that I'm looking to sell. A little bit under, but not enough to move it. AVCT, we're not touching. IMVT is a biotech stock. When it comes in, it comes in. Plus, I just did a buy on it, so I'm not going to do that one again. So I did fuel sell, and yesterday it was at 1678, and oops, it basically went down to $13, and I put a buy order in, and we dropped it down and uh, got our cost basis from like $20 and some odd cents to 15.80, which is really nice. I bought it for 13 and it popped up to 14, so that was a good one. We'll take a look at Hall of Fame, and I just think with football coming up over the summer, you're going to have crowds. You're going to have two Hall of Fame induction ceremonies, like two classes. I think there's going to be a lot of traffic um, for these resorts, and I think they're going to post really good numbers in the third quarter, maybe the second quarter even too. But that went down 13% today, so um, it got down to 195. We bought it there. It popped briefly up to $2. Not really much there. So that was a good one there. I got rid of Texas Holdings um, because I was thinking about this, and I'm like, dude, if Biden's shutting down the pipeline, then you know there might be less work for the people who are there, and if that's the case, then this company might post not great numbers. Plus, this one doesn't move a lot, so I took it off the board. Beyond that, we took a look at over 2-day moves. Um, any other ones we have here? Nicola, I took a look at, and I don't think we did this one today, did we? No, we didn't. Okay. All right. So Nicola, and then none of the other ones moved here, but one of the ones that we have and actually popped back up, Fubo, right here, was up top here earlier. I mean, it was at like 15, 16%, and it actually recovered pretty nicely. So we put a buy in at 29.10, popped up to 31.90. So we made a little bit of money. It was priced really well. Service Corporation, the same thing. That went down to 11.95. We bought that. We had that on a prior order that we're going to do. So we bought a lot of these down, lowered our cost basis. Really, none of these is severely in the red. I think the worst one we have is Future FinTech at 21.30, but the rest of them we got down from 30% into the teens, and then we bought low and the market went up. So overall, it's doing pretty good. We bought low, and really what we're trying to do is take advantage of these days. So when the market goes up, we have more ammo in the chamber. So when it goes up, we get a bigger gain. So with that being said, I do want to talk about Sabre for a minute. So where was this at? Let's do. All right. So I was watching this this morning, and one of the things that the Facebook CEO basically said that when people stop staying at home and they actually start going out, they're going to have less time on their phones. They're going to be doing other things, which means they're going to be clicking fewer ads, which is going to earn them fewer money. And they specifically mentioned the travel industry. Um, so it was just interesting when you start to hear some honesty coming out of Silicon Valley. It's a sign that we're actually moving in the right direction. And as we talked about demand recovery last week, it's a sign that things are getting where they are going to be going, and we want to be able to take advantage of that. Additionally, we talked about, and I didn't really put an article on here, but it's all over the news. Texas and Mississippi are releasing their mask mandate next month. Alabama is going to be. They extended it for a month, but they said after April, I think April 9th or what have you, they're not going to be, or maybe April 3rd, they're not going to be moving that forward. So right now there's 17 states with no mask mandate, which is funny because they're giving Texas a lot of crap, and Biden called them Neanderthals. And it's like, dude, there's 15 other states that don't have mask mandates. And plus, he didn't say not to wear masks. He said, I'm not going to penalize you if you don't. So it's like saying, okay, you probably shouldn't smoke, but I'm not going to arrest you or fine you if you do smoke. So big difference there. But that being said, things are moving in the right direction. We talk about coronavirus. Obviously, we're past the second wave. I mean, it's utterly clear. Deaths are, almost zero. I mean, look how low they are there. People are not getting tested anymore. They're getting the vaccine instead. I mean, why would you get a test when you can get the vaccine? Think about it, right? And then we're down to 3.7 positivity rate, up from when we were at 14.5% at that point. So, with that being said, today was a buy day. So, you got to take advantage. I bought a lot when it was right in between here and here. So, I wish I would have bought all of it here, but I bought all of it pretty much from here to here, and then it popped up. So, this was down at one point for us $16,000, and at the end it was only down. Well, it was 8, now it's 10. It went down a little bit down in after hours trading. Speaking of which, so a little bit lower. We'll take a look later in the day to see where things are going. But overall, we had a good day. We moved our cost basis down. We don't have anything severely in the red. We're in the process with our sectors. We look at, I was noticing this today. Travel, we're doing a fifth of what we own. We have a 51% return on it. Entertainment, 80%. Oil at 168%. Casinos were averaging 235%. And then Biden stocks, I mean, we have Blinks that's doing well, but we're going to be liquidating probably most, if not all of this as well, once it gets to zero, and then we're going to reinvest it. And then other, we don't really have a solid category for this, and we're a little bit in the red on that. So, and then crypto, I mean, basically Bitcoin Cash is holding us up at this point. So, but we're going to clean everything in the red out here, and we're going to reinvest it in these three categories. And I may do some more casino stocks. So, with that being said, you know my strategy. What's yours? Let me know. Put a comment in the under the video. I'll definitely respond back when you do. And if you have any questions, let me know. With that being said, take advantage of this low time. It's the day after Christmas for buying Christmas lights. It's the hours after eating Thanksgiving for Black Friday shopping. Now's the time you buy low, and when the market moves up, you have more ammo in the chamber to move up and to make more money.
To get more information on the sales cheat code, go ahead and click on the subscribe button below. Also, down below in the video description, down there, there's a link that takes you to our website that gives you additional content, some additional freebies that we have, and gives you information on some programs that we have that have been proven to help people to make sales easy so that you can make the kind of money you want, live the lifestyle that you've always wanted, and not have to struggle in the process. And what might be the coolest thing of all is you don't have to put much effort into it. It truly is a cheat code that most people don't know about. And it's a cheat code that can change your life today. So click on the link below and let me help you start to experience these results starting right now.